Daily drama, real tea, no filters, just mic drop daily. Don't forget to subscribe.
When you're dealing with the kind of narcissistic control freak that Diddy is, and you raise children under that, the financial abuse for all of them is probably the worst. Because there's no way they can make money without him. He has them locked in. And if he falls, who's going to hire them? Who's going to fund them? Who's going to look out for them? No one.
Right.
No one.
This Diddy drama is getting way out of hand because now folks are saying his daughters are caught up in the madness too. Yep, the spotlight has officially shifted to his teenage girls, and the rumors are heating up fast. Word is that the feds are allegedly watching them real close, tapping into their phones and digging through their movements like there's something big they're hiding. People are whispering that Diddy's daughters, especially the twins, Jesse and Delilah, might have known more about his dirty business than they ever let slip. And guess who's stirring the pot? Jaguar Wright. That woman has been coming for Diddy nonstop, and now she's allegedly aiming her fire at the girls, too. According to her, the authorities have been keeping tabs on their calls, their texts, even their travel plans. Now hold up, what exactly did these girls do to raise the feds' eyebrows? And did they really try to flee the country? That's what the internet is buzzing about. Jaguars out here claiming that they might have been trying to skip town to avoid the heat. If that's true, it's about to get even messier. We already know Jaguar Wright does not play when it comes to Diddy. She's been dragging him for years, calling him out every chance she gets. But now, she's allegedly dragging his daughters into the chaos too, and fans are shook, and it's almost like Jaguar won't stop until everyone in Diddy's circle is under fire. Jesse and Delilah, both turning 19 this year, along with their half-sister Chance, were always seen as the quiet ones. But if what Jaguar's saying holds any weight, they might not be as innocent as folks thought. The whole situation is wild, and people are watching real close to see what unfolds next. So yeah, technically they're still young, but let's keep it real. At 19, they're legally grown now. And even though Diddy's got 3 daughters around the same age, it's the twins, Jesse and Delilah, who are catching all the heat. Everyone's asking, what did they really do to get the feds on their case? Why are people online so convinced that these girls are being watched? Well, let's get into it. First off, folks are side-eyeing how the twins have been acting since this whole Diddy scandal exploded. While their dad is being accused of some serious sick stuff, they've been out here unbothered. Jet-setting across the globe, turning up on yachts, attending exclusive events, and living it up on luxury vacations like nothing ever happened. And yeah, sure, this is the lifestyle they've always known, but given what's going down right now, it's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. Jaguar Wright, who's been real vocal about this case, is one of the loudest calling them out. She says the twins are tone-deaf to the pain their father's alleged victims are dealing with. And flaunting wealth in the middle of this storm ain't just out of touch, it's suspicious. Fans are also picking up on the fact that the girls may actually be backing their dad behind the scenes. Why? Because when Diddy got arrested last year, they voluntarily gave up their passports to the court. That move raised major eyebrows. Like, why would they do that if they weren't somehow involved or trying to protect him? Around that time, federal prosecutors were begging the court to deny Diddy bail. They claimed he'd try to intimidate witnesses and mess with the investigation if he got out. They even said they found what looked like narcotics in his hotel room. Diddy tried to throw $50 million at the judge for a home detention deal, but the court wasn't having it. The bail terms he offered were crazy, and when they leaked later on, people were left in total shock. According to newly surfaced documents, Diddy's legal team came in heavy with a wild bail proposal. And the details got everybody talking. His lawyer reportedly offered a staggering $50 million bond to get him out, and this wasn't just any basic bail package. Diddy was pulling out all the stops, getting his entire inner circle involved to co-sign. That included himself, his mother, his sister, the mother of his oldest daughter, and even his 3 adult sons. Now that's a family affair, but the real kicker, the bond would have been backed by some serious real estate. Diddy was ready to lock in the equity from his insane $48 million mansion on Star Island in Miami. That place is a whole fortress, and just to make sure it was clean and clear, he went ahead and paid off the entire remaining mortgage, about $18 million, just so the court wouldn't have anything to question. That's next-level planning right there. But wait, there's more. The court docs also said Diddy was throwing in his mom's property too, her house on Alton Road in Miami. He was stacking up as much collateral as possible to show he was serious about staying put, or at least pretending to be. On top of that, Diddy offered to keep his movements tight, agreeing to stay within the Southern District of Florida and the Southern District of New York so he could meet with lawyers, attend court, and go to medical appointments. And for any travel that involved nearby airports, like in the Eastern District of New York or Jersey, he said he'd only pass through if necessary. Plus, there was even talk of some sealed medical info being sent to the court. The whole plan was looking like a desperate power move to avoid sitting behind bars, but the judge still wasn't buying it. The documents then dropped another bombshell. Diddy had already handed over his own passport to the authorities back in April. But that wasn't all. In a bold move, he also offered to turn in his mom's and daughter's passports too. Yep, it said straight up that the passports of several family members had already been surrendered to his legal counsel. That list included Janice Combs, his mother, Chance Combs, Jesse Combs, Delilah Combs, and even little baby Love Combs. Chilly, even the baby had to give up her passport. Now that's wild. But here's where things get shady. The feds didn't officially take those passports, so technically the girls still have their travel documents, and that's where the talk of them possibly trying to run comes in. So now everyone's wondering, what exactly would they be running from? Well, if the rumors are true, the twins might be getting ready to dip before this whole situation turns into a full-blown nightmare. Let's not forget, Diddy was almost a billionaire before all this drama exploded. But fast forward to now, his net worth has crashed down to around $400 million. Sure, that's still a bag. But when you used to be knocking on the billionaire door, that's a massive drop. And it's only getting worse because according to official indictment papers filed by federal prosecutors, if Diddy gets found guilty, he might have to give up everything. The documents say that if he's convicted of the crimes listed under Count 1, he has to forfeit all property, assets, contracts, securities. Everything he used to build or control the enterprise they're investigating. That includes not only whatever he directly earned from the alleged crimes, but also anything tied to it indirectly. We're talking cash, property, investments, gone. The feds are basically ready to strip him of every single thing they can link to this mess. They even said they're coming for any money that represents proceeds from the offenses. So yeah, the pressure's on, and if the girls are thinking about escaping the fallout, it's not hard to see why. The feds didn't hold back in the paperwork. They made it crystal clear. If Diddy's found guilty, he's not just facing jail time, he's looking at losing everything. The documents state that the defendant shall forfeit to the United States any and all property, real or personal, that was used, intended to be used, or even linked to committing the offenses. That includes anything traceable to the money or property tied to the crimes. And get this, they're not just coming for stuff he bought directly from the alleged dirty money. They want everything even connected to those funds. Cash, real estate, investments, all of it. They even mention a sum of U.S. currency that represents the value of the entire operation, meaning they could seize millions to cover what they claim was made illegally. So now Diddy's not only at risk of going to prison, he's at serious risk of going flat broke. And let's be real, the lifestyle his daughters, especially the twins, are used to, it's straight up designer clothes, luxury cars, private jets, and exclusive parties. That's the only world they know. So if those millions disappear, it's going to be a major reality check. To make it even messier, the twins haven't exactly shown interest in college or working a 9-to-5. They've made it pretty obvious they're not trying to live the regular life. So if Diddy's empire crumbles, how are they planning to keep that glam life going? Well, word on the streets is that Diddy might have allegedly set up offshore accounts for his kids way before all this drama popped off, just in case something like this ever went down. So now people are asking, are the girls trying to disappear with that hidden stash before the feds freeze everything? Now, if you've been wondering why Diddy's legal team was so quick to offer up his kids' passports, one fan might have just cracked the code. They pointed out something real interesting, saying the daughters could allegedly be listed as the names on those offshore accounts, and if that's true, then it would make sense why the feds would want to block their travel. They don't want any slick moves like Diddy funneling money overseas, paying off folks, or trying to silence anyone using funds they can't track. See, large offshore withdrawals usually can't just be done online. You gotta show up in person to make it happen. So if the girls tried to hop on a flight and vanish, the feds would know exactly what time it is, and that's why people are convinced the girls know way more than they're letting on. At this point, fans believe the twins are fully aware that Diddy's chances of beating the case are slim. Real slim. They're not trying to go down with the ship. They're trying to secure whatever's left before it all disappears. And of course, Jaguar Wright couldn't stay quiet. She slid in with her own claims, saying Diddy allegedly kept a tight grip on his kids financially, pulling all the strings behind the scenes. Honestly, you can't really blame the twins for trying to dip out. They're fresh out of high school, skipping college, and their dad's possibly facing serious time. If there's a pile of money stashed away somewhere, best believe they're going to want their cut before the government freezes every last dime. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for the realest updates and deep dives, because this story is far from over.